Me dep on Epstein Island, chillin' on a Epstein Island. You email me a brief so silent, but the conversation seem no private. Me dep on Epstein Island, chillin' on a Epstein Island. As a young thing give me excitement, hard to keep this secret quiet. The royal boy is here, he be chillin' on the pier. The weather so smooth, so nice, with a light young rum and ice. Say step on the island, no fear, no judgment on the island, it's clear. When Maxwell bring a surprise, we receive the package in a small size. Me up on Epstein Island, chillin' on a Epstein Island. You email me a brief so silent, but the conversation seem no private. Me up on Epstein Island, chillin' on a Epstein Island. Cause a young thing give me excitement, hard to keep this secret quiet. Me see a man in a wheelchair appear, him with a short gal vibing right near. A statesman just come off him flight, with a young thing on him left and right. There's a man a stand up at the gates, him want come in, he can't wait. Him look very smart and wise, foundation boy so nice. Me up on Epstein Island, chillin' on a Epstein Island. You email me a brief so silent, but the conversation seem no private. Me up on Epstein Island, chillin' on a Epstein Island. Cause a young thing give me excitement, hard to keep this secret quiet. Mr. Musa call late at night, him want come over, want and invite. Him have no vibes, we no rate till. And Maxwell tell a idiot say the party's done. We laugh cause smart get one STD. Him living too young, wild and free. From one Russian gal, intercourse. His wife no happy, she want divorce. Next day come around, it's safari time. We a enjoy, we self-relax and wine. Jeffrey a drive we round in a the Jeep. Him a chill guy, can't believe them call him a creep. Look how the monkey, them a climb up and jump. Look on them go, them a climb and jump. Epstein Island a the place we be, if you want nature and animosity. Me up on Epstein Island, chillin' on a Epstein Island. You email me a brief so silent, but the conversation seem no private. Me up on Epstein Island, chillin' on a Epstein Island. Cause a young thing give me excitement, hard to keep the secret quiet.
DJ Marks generated this shit.
My big beautiful Belle, Belle, Belle. All the things that you can feel, feel, feel. You make me feel so alive, with that incredible size. My big beautiful Belle, 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 Belle. Do you still wanna Netflix and chill, 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 chill? We can watch Brokeback Mountain, that movie ended in a big ass fountain. My big beautiful Belle, Belle. Riding up and down that hill, hill, hill. And Hillary don't have to know about us. This some presidential, confidential last love. My baby, beautiful Bill, Bill. This that love that can be kill, kill, kill. I wrote a special like in your name. Passing this eternal back party sun flame. And I know you're a Democrat, I'm Republican, don't give a fuck about that. We were loving like Romeo and Juliet. West Side Story, baby, let's fake all that. We're together in these Epstein files. Presidential romance is still alive. Over this party, we were dancing. They saying boys can't stop advancing. You didn't have sexual relations with that woman. I know I was with you in a White House booming. Secret Service knocking while we were coolin'. Tryna be quiet when that big bill moved in. Hit up, it ain't you just feel it, it ain't suiting. You better always lie me down or we be coolin'. Hey, game stronger than a giraffe, long neck ruling. When you with Dino, you know that thing be drooling. Bill, 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 you you got a license for that drill, drill, drill. Missing you, my Billy Willy, boo. My Billy boy, whoopty snoopty, woo. Billy, 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 Willy, woo. Whoopty Billy, Snoopty, whoopty Snoopty, boo. Billy boy, I think I love you. Whoopty woo, Snoopty Billy, boo.
Yep,
Marco.
yeppers. We're here. We're really doing it. We're doing it. Make sure everybody can hear me. Make sure we're good. Make sure everything's blessed. All right, let's test it out. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody, we're here. It's a special edition. It's a special stream Special topic. We are here. They can't stop us. They hate us because they ain't us. Where should I put the chat? Let's put it right there. Okay, we're back. We are back. By we, I mean me. I'm back. And wow, I'm just seeing myself on the preview for the first time. He looks absolutely fucking amazing, doesn't he? Language. There's children watching this. Okay, first of all, I want to thank everybody who's in here right now, and I want to thank we got a super chat from Joe Allen Express, Joe Allen Power, sorry, Joe Allen Pressure Washing. Thank you, Joe. Really appreciate you. You know, don't let YouTube steal 30% of your donation, and instead use the Streamlabs link in the chat. We love to see it. But thank you guys for being here. Also, it looks like we also have another person who is leading the cult by example and using the Streamlabs link, which we love to see. And that person is, drumroll please, Right 5111. You know the name. You love to see it. Always holding it down. POP, hold it down. I'm legally blind. Thank you, Right, for the $28 super chat. I'd love to see it. Also, MDub47. We had a donation yesterday from MDub47 while we were offline, and I want to thank MDub so much for the kind words. I don't know I don't know if you want me to read that out, but it's a very nice message. So thank you, MDub, if you're watching this. And I will say no worries. Congratulations to you on the developments in your life. Bless up. No worries. Really appreciate you always. Thank you. So you're wondering why, I'm sure. Why is Marco looking so crispy? Why is he dressed in the am I wearing this backwards? I think I am. Why is he wearing the backwards tank top with the, you know, frilly mesh shirt over top, like he's on vacation? Why is he in front of this background? Why does he look so crispy? Well, I told you, thank y'all for sticking with me during the awkward hair growth process. I went to the barbershop today, as you can tell. I still need to grow out my hair on top a little bit longer. I think that's gonna look good. And I gotta let my beard fill in. But as you can see, the barber went crazy, increasing the height, the cheek line of my beard line. So
I just died on your arms tonight. It must have been something you said.
I'm sure there's a lot of that going on right now. Did you even hear the sound effects for that? Yes. Okay. So, you know, progress is being made. It's all coming together. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure my shirt isn't on backwards right now. Let me make sure. Let me test something. It is on backwards. Yay. I was like, I knew I had a more plunging neckline than that on this shirt. I knew we had more going on than that. Okay. It's a bit better. There we go. Now we're there. Okay. Very important stream and very a different topic, okay? Why am I doing this stream? Well, on this channel, you know, I talk about exposing scams and schemes. And as time goes on, I'm 30 years old now, and more I feel like we do not have to live like this. It does not need to be this way. There must be a better way. And I'll give you a very concrete example from my own life of how the rat race just never relents. You know, the money is being sucked out of my pockets just as fast, if not faster, than I can stack it. I remember in 2017, I got a car. It was a Toyota RAV4, a 2017 used, very lightly used Toyota RAV4. It had like 10,000 kilometers on it. I'm not sure how much that is in miles, but it had 10,000 kilometers on it. And I bought it, and I got a very good deal on it. I paid, I think the total cost of it was like 30,000 Canadian dollars for this lightly used Toyota RAV4. Okay, I wanted a Toyota. It's reliable. Blah blah blah. Fast forward to 2021. Okay, I finally managed to pay off this car. All right, I finally managed to pay off the car, and I thought, wow, that's $400 a month. That instead of going to the car payment is going to be going back into my pocket, which you love to see. And of course, once the $400 was now going back into my pocket, the insurance tells me, oh, actually, we're raising your insurance premium for the year. My building management tells me we're raising your rent by the year, by the month, $100 a month. So it's like, oh, the grocery store, oh, now bread is more expensive because we've actually been price fixing and scamming you on bread all of these years. But there ain't nothing you can do about it. And the amount that we're going to pay in settlement, whatever, is going to be fractional compared to the amount of money we've made. Never mind inflation. The money we scammed you out of in 2015 is worth more now. So fuck you. It's just endless. It's just endless. So I came to a point in late 2023. Here's what happened. Late 2023, I get sued by a multi-level marketing company. Okay? The multi-level marketing company starts sending private investigators to my home to follow me at my gym, to my family's relatives' home, and I didn't feel safe with them knowing where I lived. At the same time, I got the renewal contract for my lease in the apartment that I had been living in for 3 years at that point. And the renewal contract said that they were increasing my rent by an increment of like hundreds of dollars. And I'll tell you exactly how much. When I moved into that apartment, it was in South Edmonton. I moved into this apartment December 2020. So the very end of 2020. Okay. Now it's late 2023. When I moved into this building in 2020, it was ran by building management company A, who I rented it from. It was $1,250 a month, 1,250 Canadian dollars a month. It was for a 1-bedroom plus den apartment. It had an underground parking stall and a storage like cage in front of the parking stall. Shortly after I moved in, the building management changed hands. Okay, so now it was company B. After the first year, company B said, well, we weren't able to get you right after you moved in because we only took over the building after you moved in. But now that we're renewing your contract and it's under us, we want to charge you more than what the previous people charged you. So for the following year, going into 2022, they charged me $1,350. I thought, okay, from what I understand, this is pretty customary for a rent increase, $100 a year. Okay, I'll take it. So now we're paying $1,350 a month. Fast forward, and now building management company C takes over. So it changed hands yet again. So each year that I've lived there has been a new building management company. The third year, 2020, going into 2023, they tell me it's going to be $1,450. I thought, okay, I'm noticing a pattern. $1,250, then $1,350, then $1,450. What's next? $1,550? Oh, how I wish. Oh, how foolish and green and young I was. Because when I got the rental agreement going into 2024, they slid it under my door. And I went and I picked it up, and it was building management company D now that had just recently taken over the building. I literally remember the names of these management companies as well. It's like, you can't make this shit up. So they wanted to take my rent and go from $1,450 to $1,820. Nearly $400 increase. Okay? They wanted me to go from $1,450 to $1,820, and I was not going to have the storage cage anymore. They were going to take that away from me too, which makes no sense because if my car is parked in front of that storage cage, whoever's renting the cage can't even easily access it. So it's like, it kind of has to go along with my cage or whatever. Yeah, only company E can save us now. No kidding. Thumbs up the thing, by the way. So I remember I took that paper in my hand and I walked over to my desk, and right there on the spot, I booked a one-way ticket to Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand, for the departure date of December 31st, New Year's Eve day. Okay? And I said, fuck this. The assassins are after me. Okay? They're sending private investigators to my home. I don't feel safe here. I'm about to face the next couple of years probably of ridiculous legal fees and whatever other bullshit nonsense related to these lawsuits, which did end up happening, and I'm still dealing with it now. Streamlabs link in the chat. And the cost of living is just going up exponentially, and I don't foresee it going down. When has anyone here ever had their landlord contact them and be like, you know what, good news, this year we're actually going to be charging you less? We cross our fingers and hope the price doesn't go up. It just stays the same. When has it ever dropped down? So fortunately, depending on how you look at this, it seems like fortuitous that it happened the way it did. But a friend of mine was moving into an apartment as well. And I had now like a little over a month to get rid of everything and, move. So I was either going to put everything into storage, or I was just going to sell it or get rid of it or whatever, donate it, whatever. So I ended up having a friend who was moving right around that time. So I said, look, you're going to save a bunch of money by just buying the stuff you need off of me. Bed, kitchen table, whatever, side table, lamp, all this shit, rug, all this stuff that I had. So you're going to save a bunch of time and money if you just buy it off me. It's going to be cheaper. We'll work something out. And it's going to be way more convenient for me to not have to go take pictures of everything and become a Facebook Marketplace salesman for the next 2 months. So he agreed. We spent like a couple days moving all the stuff from my place to his. And then I purged a bunch of stuff too, like clothes that I had accumulated over years, got donated. Personal effects of mine went into like some boxes and went into storage. And that was it. I left a New Year's Eve day of 2023. So basically the start of the new year, 2024. So I got on the plane December 31st, 2023, and I was in Bangkok by January 2nd, 2024, because if you leave, anyways, it's a 12-hour time difference, a 13-hour time difference, and it takes 13 hours to get there. So actually it takes 16 hours to get there. So when you add both of those up, you actually lose an entire day to travel. So, but it's cool because when you fly back, you actually go back in time, because if you leave on, for example, June 1st at 8 a.m., if you leave from Thailand, you'll land back in Canada after a full day of travel on June 1st in the morning. So you basically go back in time. But anyways, and this is a side note, but traveling right when I did was kind of a mistake, because I missed the New Year's parties and stuff that relatives were having. And realistically, it's like, why couldn't I have just gone one day later? I was just being romantical about the idea of like new year, new me, new country, whatever. So anyways, this is something that's been on my mind and on my heart. And I have so much footage from the cumulative year that I spent in Asia between the years of 2024 and 2025 that I haven't done anything with. I spent a month living in Vietnam. I spent most of the time in Bangkok. I went to Malaysia. I went to Bali. I went to Japan. I'm sure there's another place I'm forgetting. But I have footage from all of these places, including pieces of footage for an Amway investigation.
Chimmy donated 13 Canadian dollars and 45 cents.
Thank you, my king.
Great job, Marco Pet GW.
Thank you, Chimmy. Appreciate you, Chimichangas. Thumbs up the ting as well, y'all. So I have all this footage as well from these different countries where I was investigating Amway in these different countries as well. And that video hasn't come out yet, but, needless to say, it's going to be great when it does, if it ever does. My changing appearance over the 2 years in that video will be hilarious to see. But so I had a lot of preconceived notions that turned out to be very incorrect when I went from Canada to Thailand, okay? For example, I thought, I wonder if anyone there is going to speak English. Spoiler alert, they do. I wonder if I'm going to have a toilet, or if I'm just going to have to squat over a hole in the ground. Like, I was literally prepared to be basically like roughing it, basically camping, And what I found out was Thailand, Bangkok specifically, is not only just as equipped as any place you would live, in the West, in the United States or Canada. It's actually, in my experience, even more advanced, even more convenient, even better in almost every single way. And I'm going to go through some of those ways today. And there's a purpose to this because I know I'm not the only person who has been going through, the feelings of frustration with living in Canada. Every time I come back, even just when I came back to visit for like Christmas or the summertime over the past 2 years, I have this feeling of like, God damn, I go to buy a smoothie and it's $12 for a smoothie. And I'm looking at what they're putting in it and I'm thinking, I could have literally got this for $1 in Thailand and it would have been cheaper and better quality somehow. This literally happened. I came back to visit in the summer of 2024. Okay, I had been gone for a few months and I came back to visit for the summer. And I walked over to this bubble tea smoothie place, which had Asian branding. The logo was like a little Asian boy with a bowl cut. Okay, I go inside. It's an Indian guy behind the counter. And on the TV in the store, he's blasting some Indian soap opera like it's his living room. So I think, okay, let's just see what happens. Let me not judge a book by its cover. I'm going to ask for a mango smoothie because when I was in Thailand, one of my favorite rituals to do was to wake up, go walk outside where it was already scorching hot, get some fresh air and some sunlight on me, and go to this little smoothie stand where a sweet old lady would slice a mango by hand, put it in the blender with ice, and give it to you for $1 or $2 Canadian. And so I was I was missing that when I went back to Canada. So I go to this smoothie place. I ask the Indian guy for a mango smoothie. He says, okay, it'll be $8. No problem. I'm like, okay, fine. We're back in Canada, inflation, $2 to $8. I'll pay it. There was not a mango involved in the process of this mango smoothie. He took a scoop of some, I don't even know what kind of powder it was, put that in there, took a bottle of like copper colored liquid, which was supposedly the mango flavor, squirted a bunch of it into the blender, put some ice in there, scooped another thing of powder, and blended it up and gave me that for $8. Whereas in Thailand, I could have got an actual Thai person to make me the smoothie with a real mango for $2. And instead, in Canada, an Indian guy makes it with no mango involved for $8. That's just one micro example. So I kept noticing these things, and they just kept piling up and piling up and piling up until I literally was like, I cannot justify living my life long-term in Canada. And this stream is kind of like an early exclusive, almost trial run of a video, a bigger video that I'm going to do, like an actual video where I talk about like in sections, here's how life is better elsewhere. And I'll tell you, the Western propaganda is so strong. It's so strong that it makes you think that the West is the best place. It really does. And you have clowns like Patrick Bet-David who will say like, oh, well, why don't you go live in this country, that country? And they always name the worst countries that have the most problems going on. Why don't you go live in Uganda? Why don't you go live in Venezuela? There are good places that you can go, okay? Thailand, in my opinion, is the best one. And I don't just want to, sort of add to the doom and gloom of your life by reminding you how much it looks like this. I want to actually share with you perhaps a path. It's not going to apply to everyone, but perhaps a path to you doing something similar in your own life, because we do not have to live like this. We do not have to live like this. All right? As a matter of fact, there's some videos that I'm sure I could share with you guys from a friend of mine, my bodybuilder friend, Franz. You've heard me, you've probably seen me post him on my story before saying this is my bodyguard. Most of the videos on his channel, on his YouTube channel, I actually filmed them. And they do show like a side of life, the sort of pacing of life in Thailand. So we'll look at some of these as well. But let me start first with this amazing thread that I found on X before I show you video examples. This is a thread that I found on Twitter. Literally, when was this? This was right before I left. Okay, I happened to find this. The timing coincidentally lined up with when I was leaving for right before I was leaving. This is like during the research phase of my transition here to Thailand. So let's go over here. All right. So this tweet says, I'm American. I just revisited my home country after moving abroad 2 years ago. What I saw shocked me. 13 American oddities I still can't believe. And I saved this post. 1. The prescription drug advertisement paradox. Every other TV commercial promotes prescription medications, which all have cheerful people frolicking in fields while a rapid-fire voiceover lists all lethal side effects. Almost nowhere else in the world allows direct-to-consumer pharmaceutical advertising. I mean, this one kind of speaks for itself. Danny DeHeck, what up, Danny DeHeck? What up, Lindsay Liu? Danny says, I've been to Thailand 5 times. I've traveled 40 countries, definitely my favorite. Here we go. So you'll relate to this. Beetlejuice, what up? UFC, yes. USA, the Freedom 250 fight, right? Also, it looks like I missed a donation. I don't know how that happened, but let me look. Let's see. Oh no, it was Chimmy. Thank you, Chimmy. Okay. Here we go. Here he shows
That's right for you.
That's a video.
Some people have had changes in behavior, hostility.
You know it. 2, eating out costs a fortune. I took my mom to breakfast. Coffee, 2 omelets, side of pancakes and hash browns, $50 not including the tip. Can't believe how people pay so much for such mediocre food. Even fast food is pricey. And this is, mind you, this is from 2 years ago nearly. The McDonald's, the McChicken inflation, it's crazy. When I was in high school, I remember I had a little cup of, like a container in front of the cup holder, a little pocket in front of the cup holder in my 2007 Jeep Patriot, which was my first car. And I would keep change in there. And I remember, like, no matter how much change I had in there, I could always get at least a junior chicken from McDonald's. And it was so convenient and cheap. It was like $1.20. It was so convenient and cheap that I would just buy one even if I wasn't hungry, just cuz. I would get one junior chicken, buy normal, and one junior chicken with the sweet chili. I think the last time I saw the junior chicken on the menu, it was like $4 something in Canada. Insane. 3, let me explain not just how this is a thing in the US, but how this is not a thing when you go to another country, like, for example, Thailand. In Thailand, you can use the mango example I gave, the mango smoothie example. You can get real food, real home-cooked food, made with love for a few dollars. Now, mind you, one of the things that I love about Thailand is also this. It is what you make of it, okay? People have preconceived notions about Thailand. Oh, you're going there to party. You're going there for the ladyboys. You're going there for the cheap beer. I don't drink alcohol, first of all. Ladyboys, sorry, not interested. Sorry to all the ladyboys who watch this. And what was the other one I said? Oh, going to party. I'm not interested. Thailand is what you make of it. Bangkok specifically is what you make of it. You can go to the more slow-paced areas like Chiang Mai, the more nature-esque places. Thailand is what you make of it. When I was in Bangkok, never have I been more locked in flow state, stream, edit the videos, go to Muay Thai, go to the gym, get my steps in. I was in the best shape of my life 1 year ago when I was still in Thailand. And I hope to get back to that soon because in Canada, even just it being the winter, it's like, fuck, I'm depressed. Do I want to go? Whereas there, going outside, it's exciting. Every day is an exciting adventure. In Thailand, I was worried when I first was doing research to go there. I was thinking, I wonder if I'll have a toilet, as I said before, or will I have to squat above a hole in the ground? Every bathroom in Thailand has a bidet, like a handheld bum gun, they call it, a bidet. So they're way cleaner. That's another thing I hate about the West. People walk around with poopy bum holes all day. If you got melted chocolate on your hand, would you just wipe it off with tissue and say, oh, I'm good? No, you would still feel like there's still something on your hand. You would wash it with liquid. People in other countries, they use bidets. At the minimum, use baby wipes. Get a covered garbage can at Walmart for $5 and use baby wipes, or God forbid you get flushable baby wipes and use those. Be clean, Next, the death of mom and pop shops. Small family-owned businesses used to be the pulse of America. Now, fast food and chain restaurants that microwave frozen food over and overcharge you are the only options in some places. It's sad to see local businesses you love close their doors. I actually did a stream about this several months ago. Let me pull it up. I did a stream called, let me see, what was it called? It was about the food. Let me see here. It was called like One Company. I can't find it. It was about how Cisco, it was reacting to a video from the YouTube channel More Perfect Union, where they were talking about how the company Cisco and GFS in Canada, Gordon Food Services, basically whatever restaurant you go to, chain restaurant, many of them use the same supplier, Cisco. So if you order mozzarella sticks at one restaurant, you're getting it's the same mozzarella sticks that you're getting at, I'm just giving out an example. I don't know if this is exactly true. Chili's and Applebee's. You're getting the same thing, essentially. Next, the food marketing maze. Products scream their health benefits from every shelf. All natural, superfood, protein enhanced. All this means nothing, by the way. The health claims are funny. The side effects of selling lies to an entire country, not funny. Why is America, Mexico, Canada, why are we so overweight? You know, right now the new craze is protein. They have protein everything now. They have protein popcorn, protein chips. You know, most of the time it's just marketing too. Go find the non-protein one, the one that's not labeled with protein, and the protein one, and see how they're basically the same thing. You know? Plain Decoded says, I use baby wipes. Love that. Your type never stays and fixes, but flees like a weakling. Oh, I see. David 7606 is one of these patriot types who expects me to put my elbows up and pick myself up by my bootstraps and fix things. Okay, David, since I plan to talk about solutions on this stream, David William, explain to me what you think I am supposed to do. What am I supposed to do to change the price of rent and bread? Except for take control of my own situation, control what I actually can, and go somewhere else so that I can at least live a decent quality of life. Yeah, exactly. You can't. You leave. Okay, what would you like me to do in an ideal world? I know you're saying I can't, like as though I'm not capable. What do you want me to do? You said your type never stays and fixes, but flees like a weakling. Okay. Sounds like somebody who can't afford the flight out. Fuck out of here. Okay, next. 5, the release form reality. Everything requires signing a waiver. Want to do yoga? Sign here. Painting class, morning paperwork. Yeah, true. The fear of litigation shapes daily life in surprising ways. Soon you'll need to provide a stool sample to avoid getting sued. Yes, this is something about, I've talked about this on streams before as well. How there's one video that Ian Carroll did where he's talking about the secret courts. It was when he was co-hosting, or he was hosting Candace Owens' show in her absence, and he was talking about how how forced arbitration is like the secret court where you unwittingly, unknowingly sign these agreements when you click accept for something like, I don't know, there was the case of the Disney Plus. The husband and wife, one of them got injured inside of a Disney park and they couldn't sue because they found out that by signing up for a trial of Disney Plus a few years earlier, they had actually waived their rights. Come on. Car dependency. This is one I'm very passionate about. After my first month in Thailand, I still had my car back home in Canada, my 2017 Toyota RAV4 that I told you about. And I thought, okay, I'm going to keep this car parked at one of my relatives' houses, and let me just go and see how I like Thailand. And if I don't like it, maybe I'll come back and I'll keep the car just in case. And if I do like it, maybe I'll sell it. Within a month, I was like, I'm selling that fucking car. And I'm putting the money towards legal costs and cost of living and whatever. I called the Toyota dealership and I sold that car back to them for nearly half of what I paid for it, which was amazing because if you consider by that point, I had the car nearly 7 years, 6.5 years, something like that. And I was able to sell it back for almost half of its original cost, which means that it actually only cost me like what, $15,000 for that car, not including the gas and the oil changes, over the course of almost 7 years. That's a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal. I've talked about this on streams before. I actually did one about this like within the last 2 months, I think. The insurance companies, the oil and gas companies, the healthcare companies, the big pharma companies, obviously the car companies, I think I mentioned that one. There's another example I'm thinking. The fast food companies, the car repair companies, the repair shops, the city officials, whatever. All of these forces combined will never allow the United States or Canada to have something like efficient high-speed rail like they have in Asia. In China, they have the most impressive high-speed rail network that they spent trillions of dollars on. I saw a post the other day that was showing how for the same amount of money that the US spent over a span of time bombing other countries, China invested that into the infrastructure for this high-speed rail line, and it's beautiful. The companies, the monopolies and oligopolies in the West will never allow high-speed rail to happen. Everybody needs to have a car. That makes money for the car companies. Every car needs to have gas in it. That's money for the gas companies. If you have a car, you need to have insurance. That's good for the insurance companies. If more people have cars, there's more car accidents, which is good for the big pharma and health insurance companies when you get injured. More people driving around in their cars means more people going through the drive-thru and buying fast food. That's good for the fast food companies. And on we go. This is, when people talk about the Matrix, it's funny. The term Matrix became popularized in the last like 4 years, largely because of Andrew Tate. Me and friends of mine were saying the term Matrix since like 10 years ago. Granted, the movie The Matrix is like 25, 26 years old, or 27 years old now, I guess. But it wasn't popularized. People weren't going around saying Matrix, Matrix, Matrix. Me and my friends were actually going around saying, that's the Matrix. This is Matrix. The most Matrix thing happened to me today. We were talking about the Matrix all the time. And this is what I would mean. This is what I'm talking about. It's like you wake up late for work, and so you're speeding to get to work. And while you're doing that, you get a speeding ticket because the photo radar camera caught you going 5 over the speed limit. And then because you were late for work and you didn't have time to make yourself lunch, you had to stop and eat McSlop. And then because you ate the McSlop, your stomach feels like shit. This is the Matrix. Poverty compounding upon itself. That's the Matrix. Okay? Here's this thread says, the cities are designed for cars, not people. The ability to walk to basic services feels backwards after living in more pedestrian-friendly countries. Now, I actually can't big up Bangkok on this point because their sidewalks or lack thereof are notoriously like, you have to watch where you're going. But they do still have parks and, paved areas where you can go. Mind you, Bangkok is like a major city. If you want to go to like a place where it's more nature and walking, you can still do that in Thailand. But Bangkok specifically, not a great example. Here we go. Cheese. This is a funny one he included on the list. Cheese galore. The amount of cheese products is insane. Cheese sticks, cheese spray, cheese balls. Makes me, I don't even need to say shit. This is just part of the slop. The public bathroom gap. The inch-wide gaps in public bathroom stalls seem specifically designed to make awkward eye contact with strangers. This is just bad planning, obviously. I don't know if this is necessarily a thing of the West, but it's a funny, personal thing that he's brought up. I'll tell you, I was at this one rooftop restaurant bar in Bangkok in, I don't know, maybe 2024, it was 2024. And I went to the bathroom and I was standing at the urinal. And when you go to a nightclub in the West, there's usually a black dude in the bathroom with like an array of cologne and gum and, paper towel to give you after you wash your hands. And he works on tips and whatever. In Thailand, in some of these places, they have like basically like a white glove service in the back in the bathroom where there's a guy like wearing a suit and like it's super posh. So I'm standing at the urinal and I feel hands on my shoulders. The bathroom attendant is massaging my shoulders while I'm peeing. It was such an experience that I just started chuckling because I thought it was so absurd. Like no way this guy is getting paid enough to do this. And I was just like I said in Thai, I was like, my kap kun kap, like no thank you. It's okay. You know? Sales tax. Oh, I love it. I love sales tax. In Thailand, if something is 100 baht, you know how much you pay? 100 baht. The price tag never shows what you'll actually pay. $9.99, now you have to do math, and I have to become a wizard. You won't know the real cost till you're at the register. The hidden tax system would be unthinkable in many countries where what you see is what you pay. True. Drive through everything. We've created drive-through versions of everything. Banks, pharmacies, soon it'll be funeral homes, anything to keep you from walking and being healthy. It's as if your car has become optional in American life. Drive-through liquor stores are still my favorite. Is that real? Monsoon Lagoon, what up? Jujudin says Europe is the West and they don't depend on cars. Okay, well, on that one point, perhaps Europe is exceptional in that regard. Anthony Mental Fit, yes. Insurance? Question mark? The more we drive, the less us United statisticians walk, bike, leading to a more sedentary lifestyle. People said I was reaching on that one. Nope, you're absolutely correct. A YouTuber said you're correct, and thus you are. Indoor shoes. Oh, sorry, wearing shoes indoors. Disgusting. In America, the sight of someone lounging on their couch with shoes on barely raises an eyebrow. This I will never understand. Research shows that shoes carry an average of 421,000 different bacteria, including E. coli. Yeah, I mean, it's just disgusting. You're bringing in fecal bacteria from public restroom floors, toxins from street surfaces, on and on. It's horrible. In other countries, people put their shoes outside the door. Gas stations sell everything. I'm obsessed with Wawa. 30 different types of energy drinks? Check. 20 different types of phone chargers? Check. Rainbow lemonade and a rainbow bagel? Oh yeah, brother. None of this is real food. This is another thing I love about Thailand. In Thailand, let me pull this up. In Thailand and in Japan, okay, I've been to both of these places. In Thailand and in Japan, 7-Eleven is like a real store. It's like a real store. Here, let me see. Thailand 7-Eleven. Bing bong. Hello, welcome. Now you can get slop here too, but they have like sandwiches. They have sushi, like, you know, rice wrapped in paper with some fish inside. You know, they have eggs. You can just buy eggs. I'll show you. Let's see if some of my favorites are shown in here. Let's see if this shows. Oh, no, don't want that audio. So this is like kind of slop, right? These sandwiches, the toasties, these are really good though. The ham and cheese, oh, I love it. You can get also like, I would come here, grab like a Gatorade. There's another drink called Pocari Sweat. This is like, it's basically like Gatorade, but really, really good. I should edit my Japan 7-Eleven video that I filmed and post it. Here, let's check this out.
I decided to get 7-Eleven. I got salmon and salt onigiri.
Those are examples. The buns.
Pancakes because I wanted to see if they were stuffed with the maple syrup and margarine. And I grabbed this coffee without realizing they're hot, which is why I'm touching it weirdly. I've tried to open these back in the States and it didn't go so well. I'm gonna follow the instructions here. Pull tab 1, then pull tab 2 and pray. That's not part of the instructions, but I needed it. The nori ripped. Pull tab 3 and the rice cake broke apart. Looks exactly like how it's supposed to. I'll make sure I work.
This rice cake is healthier than any item sold in an American 7-Eleven.
Before my trip ends. Good news, this every day than I would. A breakfast with some hot black coffee.
I didn't know that those had filling in them. I'm gonna have to try that next time. You can also get like a hard-boiled eggs. They're already peeled, and there's like 2 in a package, or you can get the individual ones as well. You can also get a bowl of jasmine rice. So they also have chicken breast. The chicken breast, you know, I would say the quality is good. It's just that it's in plastic, vacuum sealed in plastic is my biggest criticism. But there was countless times where after the gym, me and my friend would go to 7-Eleven, spend, I think it was 20 baht or 15 baht on the bowl of rice. They give you soy sauce. They give you cutlery. Buy yourself a little protein shake. The vanilla Coke Zero. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I have to show you all this. The Thailand vanilla Coke Zero. Give me 14 of them right now. Thailand vanilla Coke Zero. Let's see if they can show us.
Make a quick review time with
This is it. That is one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen.
vanilla scent. Serious? That is so good. That
It's
tastes like
it is so good. It is so good, random guy. Thank you, Stocks for Jocks. Appreciate you. You could go in, get your egg, hard-boiled egg, your soy sauce, which is free, obviously, with the purchase, the bowl of rice, some chicken breast, and you're spending like a couple bucks, a drink, 2 drinks if you wanted, a couple dollars. And it's like, it's real jasmine rice, the rice bowl. You know, it's not fake. It's not anything to be suspicious about. And they're open 24 hours. At any time of day or night, you can go get yourself some rice and egg, rice and hard-boiled egg. Like, you know, how can you complain about that? 24/7 everything. America's 24/7 culture represents more than convenience. It's a reflection of national character. In cities across the country, fluorescent lights never dim, Denny's grills never cool. I don't know why that. I don't think that's a criticism. I think that's another thing that like Bangkok has for sure. The city never sleeps. For all of its strange traits, the U.S. is the most incredible country. I disagree with this. Super disagree with that. You know, and the reason I say the propaganda is so strong, dude, is because even people in Thailand, when you talk to them, you're like, where would you want to live? Where do you want to go? America. And I try to tell them all the time, every opportunity I get to tell a person whose dream it is to go to America, no, you do not want to go to America, I take it. Believe me. Here, let me read your comments in the chat. 01 Sauce says, where in Thailand do you recommend to go for a 100% English speaker like myself? Bangkok. Bangkok. They speak English. Guess what? They speak English there. They rely on tourism. Every sign has Thai on it, and then it has English below it as the secondary language. You cannot mess it up. You cannot mess it up. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I thought I had an important notification there. I didn't. All right. This guy says, ice in drinks like it's a desert climate, enthusiastic small talk with strangers, tipping for things you didn't know required tips, a weather obsession. Yes, okay. All right. I also have my own list that I put together because I'm not just going to rely on these other folks. Here it is. Thailand. Pull it up here. Let me find it. This actually might be a note that I transferred over to my Google Drive to make it into like a more proper script. Let's see here. Life in Thailand. Here it is. I'm so smart. Okay. So on this list, I wrote about cultural differences, prices, monopolization of utilities, dating, hedonism, and focus, both in the same place, public transit, and weather. Okay. Where do I even start? Let's start with culture. That's the first one I wrote. Where do I even begin with culture? Thailand is known as the land of smiles, okay? Sabai sabai. This is a common phrase you'll hear. Sabai sabai. Take it easy. Easy going. People struggle. People work fucking hard. People drive the Grab bikes and the Bolt bikes taxis all hours of the day in the hot sun for low pay. Sometimes they have to deal with rude foreigners, Russians and Israelis and Americans who think the world belongs to them. Mostly Israelis, but you know how that go. But the kindness of the people that I met in Thailand, the appreciation from people just for trying to take a crack at speaking their language, even if it's a few words. You know, I would get in the taxi. More commonly, I would get on the back of a motorbike because there they have an app called Grab, and there's also Bolt. It's basically, think Uber and Lyft, okay? If you go on a Grab bike, which I did basically every day, this is how it works. You order the ride. The most I think I ever paid for a Grab ride on a bike was 10 Canadian dollars. And that was like I was going far. I was traveling far. Usually I'm going to the store, I'm going to the gym, a couple dollars. All right, here it is. The guy pulls up on the bike, and this is what happens. You're whipping around on the back of the bike through the streets. Just like that. Sometimes they give you a helmet, sometimes they don't. Hold on, don't fall off that bitch. The convenience of this, I mean, first of all, you would never see something like this because of safety in the West. But the convenience of this was just insane. When it's standstill traffic and you're by yourself weaving in and out, obviously it's going to be easier for you if you're a single young man like myself. But anyone, you know, if you're traveling with your girlfriend even, you can't do that. You'd both have to order separate bikes. You know, although you do see people like cramming onto one bike, but you're not going to want to do that with your girl just because of the aura loss, right? When I get on the back of the bike and I say, Sawadee Kap, kun sabadi mai kap, you know, how are you? Hello, how are you doing today? And then you get on the bike and you say, pi kap, leo sai kap, turn left, leo kwa, turn right, tong pai, go straight. And they say, oh, you speak Thai so good. I said a few words that you can learn on the flight there on your phone. And they appreciate it so much. It was like, I think I told y'all this story when I first was out there 2 years ago on the stream. I went on a date with a girl, and we went to some rooftop restaurant, which, by the way, the rooftop bars in Bangkok as well. I'm not a bar person, but they have restaurants like Sky. They call it like a Sky bar or a restaurant. The view is just amazing. Like the scale and size of these massive buildings they have in Thailand, the phone camera just simply does not do them justice. They are huge. They have like huge multi-billion-dollar malls there. And this is why I said, I'm jumping around a little bit, but this is why I said Thailand is what you make of it. If you want to go there and live an expensive baller lifestyle and go to the luxury mall and purchase real Louis Vuitton and eat at Nobu and do all this fancy shit, you can do that. But if you want to eat pad krapao made by the lady on the corner and drink 7-Eleven eggs and rice and go train Muay Thai every day, you can also do that as well. The reason I say I was so locked in, I was so flow state, is because in my building, they had a co-working like office space, an air-conditioned, comfortable room with Wi-Fi that you could go sit in and just work on your computer. It's literally built for foreigners. You rarely see locals living there. And they're still cheap compared to, I mean, they're very expensive for a local person, but they're still very cheap. I told you about the apartment. They wanted to charge me $1,820. I was paying $700. I'm trying to do the conversion to US dollars, $500 US. And even that was like splurging. You could easily get a livable place for a single person for $350, $400 US dollars easily. If you want to go a little bit further out from the city, maybe you don't want to live on a high floor. Maybe you don't care if the building has a pool. You could literally make shit stretch out there for $200-$300. I'm sure of it. Find the right agent. You could do it. I'm not joking about this. And the building I was living in for like $500 US, they had a rooftop like garden lounging area. They had the main floor co-working space. Another room called the living room, which was just like a comfy air-conditioned room. They had 24-hour security They had an office staff during the weekday, office hours times. They had a pool on the fourth level, whatever it's called, a gym, mind you, not the most crazy stack gym, but it was a brand new building, all new equipment, dumbbells, everything. I'm trying to remember what other amenity they had. On the roof, they had a micro garden where they would grow like greens, lettuce, and onions and stuff. And every couple months when they were like harvesting it, you could just go down into the lobby and they would giving it away to the residents. They say, yeah, you can take it, like groceries. My building had a face scanner to get into the elevator, to open the sliding elevator doors like that. Then once you get inside the elevator car, another face scanner which knows which floors you have access to. So if I live on the 10th floor, I'm not allowed to go to the 11th and the 12th and so on. It would only give me access to the floor with the gym and the pool, the main floor, and my floor. Then once you're on your floor, you get to your actual unit, thumbprint scanner to unlock the door. Or you could type in the code if you're really roughing it. And mind you, I'm paying 800 or whatever it is, 800 Canadian, 500 US for this per month. Okay? Anyways, I went on a date with a girl. See, I never forget. I went on a date with this girl. Her English wasn't great. She said to me, "You look like a Chris Evans." I said, "Huh? What? What? What do I look like? Chris Evans." What? She pulls out her phone. She shows me a picture. Chris Evans. I'm like, Chris Evans? You think I look like Chris Evans? Captain America. This guy. She's like, yeah, you look like Chris Evans. Even this picture where he's wearing glasses and has a beard. You could say we both have glasses and a beard. But I don't look like Chris Evans. Okay? I don't look like Captain America. She said I look like Chris Evans. So even the inflation of attractiveness, and I know some of y'all are going to say, oh, she was just saying that because she wants money, because she thinks you're a Canadian, you're a YouTuber, she wants the money, blah, blah, blah. Look, I ain't never been given no compliment. That's like if somebody said you look like Brad Pitt. You know? Madness. You don't look like Chris. Aw, because you're even more handsome. Aw. Aw. Captain, I'm a numbers guy. True. Being Mo says, I booked a one-way flight to Thailand in September. Timing of this is gold. Thank you. Love that. Let me know if you need help with anything. Visa, where to stay, agent. Let me know. I got you. Next on my list, I talked about cultural differences, prices, monopolization. Okay, this was the biggest culture shock to me, okay? I learned only after I went to Thailand that Canada pays the highest prices of any country in the world for phone, internet, data plans. Could this be because we have an oligopoly where it's literally 3 companies, Bell, Rogers, and TELUS, that own the whole fucking entire network of infrastructure and cell towers? I don't know. Some conspiracy theorists might claim that. We pay the most. And people love to hit me with this nonsense of like, oh, it's because Canada is so spread out with all its rural areas that we don't have the infrastructure. Spare me all that shit. I don't want to hear it. The amount of money, if you pay, let's say you have a bundle where you pay for your household $100 a month, which is, I know it's more than that. I know because at my last apartment where I was living by myself, I was paying $100 just for the internet because I needed to have a high-speed internet because I was streaming. But even if you have the most basic internet, okay, call it $50. Then your phone plan, you have a couple gigs of data, another $50. Okay, $100 times 40 million Canadians. I don't want to hear for a second. I don't want to hear for a micro a millisecond that they don't have the infrastructure or that there's a bandwidth limitation. I don't want to hear it. In 1 month, the amount of money these companies print from the sky literally could repair Pangea. It could put the continents back into the Pangea formation that they originally were, with the amount of money these people make, these companies. When I went to Thailand, I remember buying a SIM card and like a data plan, unlimited data plan, high speed. The calls never dropped. I didn't get Indian scam calls. When I came back to Canada, I found out that TELUS had reclaimed my old phone number because I had been out of the country too long. So I got a new TELUS number. As soon as that new TELUS number went active, hello, sir, we are calling from the air duct cleaning service. Oh, so you're selling me shit that's already been compromised. And I'm paying through the nose for it. Good to know. Oh, and I'm paying more than any other country in the world for it. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you. Appreciate that. Love that. Love that so much. I got the SIM card plan, and I remember for the most beefed up, maxed out plan I could find, I paid $20. 20 Canadian dollars. I remember my agent, my realtor asked me, okay, here's the Wi-Fi packages. Which one do you want? I said, give me the 500 megabyte upload speed, which is crazy. You can't even get, like, even TELUS fiber optic doesn't go that high, if I remember correctly. She was like, okay, it's going to be another $20 a month. Oh, that's it? So I'm paying $40 now instead of $160 a month. Love that. And the guy came to install it the next day, and I was online. The next day. When I moved into this most recent place I'm in Canada right now, TELUS was like, maxed out. TELUS, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Anthony. Good callback. TELUS was like, the remote agent that was in the Philippines that I called to set up the service was like, oh yeah, we're going to send some other subcontractor from India to do the actual thing, but they're booked up. Maybe we can schedule you in for a week from now. Everybody passing bullshit around. I'm like, hello, I'm trying to give you my money. I'm trying to give you my hard-earned money and pay more than I should be to send somebody to plug in some shit and turn on a switch to turn on the Wi-Fi. And you're telling me I'm going to have to wait a week. I'm in Thailand, and the guy comes the next day after I decide what it is that I want. And sets it up, and it works flawlessly. Can we get a PBD impression for the funsies? Brother, I just finished editing my stream about CoffeeZilla exposing PBD, and that's going to be going live tomorrow. So there's plenty of impression coming. Plus, I have more another impression video with Reborn dropping soon. So lock in. Appreciate you. Okay. Next. Oh, here's another crazy culture shock. You know, you need to have an account for everything. You need to have an account with some rental website to pay your rent. You need to have an account for your phone, an account for the internet, an account. I took my electric bill in Thailand, my electric bill, which was the most expensive of the ones I got because I used to OD on the air conditioning. Okay, I used to let that bitch run all night. Sometimes I let it run while I'm not even home. I come home to a cold place. I love it. I would let that bitch run. Maybe it would cost 60 to 80 Canadian dollars, right? Big bill. I took my electricity bill next door to 7-Eleven, and I paid my electricity bill in 7-Eleven. Literally, the cashier at 7-Eleven took the paper electricity bill, went with the thing, boop. Okay, it's this much, and I paid cash. The American mind cannot comprehend the 7-Eleven POS system communicating flawlessly without issue with the electric company. It's just absurd. So you look at a country like Thailand, right? Why don't they charge more? Okay. Yeah, exactly. So cost. I mean, it's just insane. Next, do I dare talk about this element of it? Dating. In Thailand, and I'm not just speaking from my own personal experience, I'm also speaking anecdotally on behalf of the experiences of friends of mine that were also there, and, other people I know. In Thailand, the dating culture has not yet been poisoned to the fullest extent with this we're full, thanks anyway, love you. What do you mean we're full? Thailand is full? Tell them to revoke my visa. Or Canada. I would say Canada's full for sure. The dating culture in Thailand has not yet become what it has in the US, or I guess in the West, I should say. Canada and the US specifically. This idea, some of the girls have it, but this idea of like, oh, that's the bare minimum, princess treatment, as he should, blah, blah, blah. You need to be 6 foot tall, make 6 figures, all this. A friend of mine who lives in New York once showed me a screenshot from Tinder. And a girl said, as her like prompt, you know how they have prompts on like, I guess this might have been Hinge actually. It was like perfect first date idea. And you know what this girl wrote? She wrote, mind you, they're in New York City, one of the most expensive cities in the world. She wrote, helicopter tour of the city. For a first date? That's like $1,000 to do that. For a first date, you want to do that. Okay, so if that's the first date, what are we doing for the 1 month anniversary? And you know what the sickening part of this is there's gal who will watch this and go, if you can't afford it, just say that. It's the principle of the whole thing. It's the principle of it. If my first date is with Jessica Alba and she says she wants to do that, okay, then I guess we're going on the helicopter trip. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to sign up for a new credit card and put that down on the helicopter trip. We're going to do it. If that's what we're doing. But for a normal girl, helicopter tour of the city. You're crazy. These gal in Thailand, when I first went there, I go on like a date with a girl. We go get some food. I remember there would be times where I'll talk to a girl on like Tinder or something, and she'll be like, I'll be like, okay, let me take you out to this restaurant, and I'll send her the link, and she'll be like, oh, but I have no money, and I'll say, what do you? I'll say, I'm paying. I'm inviting you, and they're like, wow, are you serious? Wow, I can't believe it. I'm like, what's going on here? Who's out here making these gal pay for their own dates? It doesn't make sense. You know, I'm still happy to pay. I know the European mind cannot comprehend. You know, there's the memes about like you go on a date with a German guy and he's like, you ate one of my 13 fries, so can you send me 10 cents or whatever? I'm not like that. I'll pay. I don't mind to pay. I think I should. I think that's the traditional gender roles I still subscribe to. I'll pay, no problem. I'll pay for it. But when she's Shrek asking for a yacht party for the first date, when in Rome, I guess. Yeah. No kidding. So anywho, I would go on like a second date or a third date, and these girls were bringing me like little gifts, little treats. One girl brought me a whole box of fucking Krispy Kreme donuts. Now this pissed me off because one, there was like some of them were like the Biscoff donuts, way too sweet. Just give me the normal glaze. I'm not a monster. But also because I was on my fitness grind and she was throwing me off she was trying to destroy me. She was trying to make me fat so that no other girls would want me so she could keep me to herself. So I had to let her go, of course. But, it's the thought of that. It's the thought of that. It's very sweet. Bring me a little knick-knack. I don't even care where you stole it from or whatever. I don't even care. It's just the thought of it, you know? I appreciated that. I appreciated them wanting to take me to temples and share the culture. And, you know, if I say, oh, Sawadee Kap, Kap Kun Kap, they say, oh, who teach you? You have another girl. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Chill, chill, chill. Don't be jealous. We're on a first date. Relax. I say, my friend is Thai. He taught me. My friend's girlfriend, relax. Hey, you get me. So, you know, I found the dating culture to be more pleasant, generally, you know, just nicer, just more kindness. Now, you have to use sort of, with great power comes great responsibility in a situation like this, because you also see the dark side of it, where you see like young girls with old ass men who are like crusty, musty, dusty, and rusty, 60, 70 years old, you know, walking around with some young girl. And it's like, this is clearly, in my opinion, a dynamic where he's trying to get her for her like youth and beauty, and she's trying to get him for money. And you could argue that every relationship is transactional to an extent, but this really just highlights the polarity of it, in my opinion. And, you know, as sad as it is, unfortunately for some folks there really is no chance of upward, you know, socioeconomic mobility aside from that. You know, you see these shows like 90 Day Fiance, and it's like, there was that one clip that really rubbed me the wrong way a couple months ago that I saw, where the old white guy is marrying some girl and he's older than her father. You know, it's like, huh? So imagine that. A man, I'm 30 years old right now. Let's say I had a daughter today who is a baby. And in 23 years, when I'm 53, a 65-year-old man or a 60-year-old man is going to marry my daughter. Come on, bro. Come on now. A man who's 37 today is going to marry my daughter who's was just born? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't like that. Next, public transit. Are you tired of being peed on, nutted on, poop thrown at, yelled at, stabbed in the throat, you know, needles sitting on the seat, crack pipe smoke being blown at you, somebody doing gymnastics, people with a boombox, people clipping their toenails, people rubbing their feet? Are you tired of all that? Bangkok. In Bangkok, not anyone can just walk onto the train platform. There's gates. You need to, in order to get through the gates, which, by the way, there's a guard at every one of them, so you can't just like do what they do in New York and jump the fare. No, they'll catch you and they'll get you out of there, believe me. You have to pay or have the membership card to buzz through the thing, okay? Once you're up on the actual platform, there's a police officer on both sides, the train going left and the train going right, east and west, whatever. If you even get too close to the yellow line approaching the platform, like the track, they'll blow the whistle at you and run over to you and start yelling at you. Don't even play games. That cute shit in America where y'all be pushing each other in front of the train tracks and whatever, good luck trying that in Thailand. It's not going to go well for you. Once you get on the train, it is clean, it is quiet, it is air conditioned, it is efficient, it is safe. It takes approximately 1 minute to go from one station to the next. So if you live in Bang Na or Bang Chak station, around one of those stations, Prakanong, On Nut, Punavidi, okay? It's going to take you 1 minute to get from each station to the next. So if you're going to the center of the city and you're going to Prompong or Nana or one of these like more bustling touristy places, it's going to take you however many stops times 1 minute. So if it's 8 stops away, it's going to take you 8 minutes. It's maximally efficient. And the beauty of this is the further out you go from the heart of the city, the cheaper the rents are too. So if you really wanted to save on rent, you could take the trade-off of being a little bit farther from the city center and saving, you know, another 500 baht per month on the rent because you're in the less bustling area, and you're gonna have to eat 1 extra minute of travel time each day. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal, IMO. Okay? I also already talked about the convenience of like the Grab bikes and stuff. Even the cars, even you rent a car, it's not that expensive. Oh, also, not just public transit, let's talk about flying. When you fly, okay, so you know how I've never been to Europe, but when you meet people who go to Europe, they're like, yeah, we're going to go to Rome, then we're going to take the train, and we're going to go here, then we're going to go to France, and they're talking about all of this, like, when you picture it in your mind, it feels like it's a small town, right? This is partially because the rail system, there's trains, but also because in countries where there's not, I guess, continents where we're not literally monopolized by 2 airlines like we are in Canada, where you have Air Canada, which is the main one, or WestJet to fly domestically. Domestic travel in Canada is more expensive than international travel. So if your only option is Air Canada or WestJet, good luck getting a sick deal. But guess what? Once you're in Asia, to fly Air Asia from Thailand to Japan, or Thailand to Malaysia, or Thailand to Indonesia, you want to go to Bali, it's like approximately $100 wherever you're going. It's stupid cheap. So the opportunities for traveling within Asia and seeing other amazing places is exponential. This is like people are spending this
Mental
on
Fit just dropped a bag 40 Canadian
problem.
dollars.
Thank you.
No
Hey.
problem, open mouth smile.
Hey, Mental Fit. Thank you, Mike King. Appreciate you. Really, I do. Feeding my lawyer good today. Think about what $200 is in your life in a month. That's not even covering groceries. That's not even covering the full gas. What bill is that? Maybe that's a bill. Maybe that's like your light bill or your water, electricity, or phone bill, internet. Maybe it's a couple of those. But car insurance, gas, health insurance, home insurance, rent, food. It just, over there, it was just, I wasn't surviving. I could live. I could live. Whenever I'm back home in Canada, I just feel like I'm surviving. Right now, I feel like I'm surviving because we're dealing with the lawsuits. So any other bill that I'm saving money on is being made up for with the legal costs, for sure. I Heart Dubu says, "Is this your passport bro era?" I already started traveling, 2 years ago. I was already living in Thailand in 2024 and 2025. So, it's chill. I spent a month living in Vietnam in February of 2025. That is a place that I'm chilling on that. Did not like it. Please don't go there. I mean, you can, but maybe it's just the area I was in. No disrespect to Vietnam. I love Vietnamese food, but I did not like where I was in Da Nang, Vietnam. More like dang, am I right? Okay, so travel. The opportunities for travel once you're there. Amazeballs. I talked a little bit about this earlier. Hedonism and focus in the same place. Thailand is what you make of it. You're going to see people who went there and they went there to party. They're taking advantage of the currency arbitrage by using their money like Monopoly money and drinking cheap beer and going to clubs and buying food and dating girls and getting sexy, ladyboy massage and all that. There's also plenty of people who have a remote job or who have some sort of business back home or who have some sort of like they own property or they're wealthy in some other way. And they go to the gym, they go to Muay Thai, they study language, they practice their hobbies, they whatever it is. And just the amount of room that I felt for new things. I started, experimenting with ice baths. I joined a chess club at one point in Thailand. I was in a Muay Thai gym doing Muay Thai. If you're on my close friends story on Instagram, I was trying to keep my location hidden during those last 2 years, but I was still posting on my close friends like all my adventures. And now I think I'll be more public about it. But yeah, dude, just the opportunity that there was to experience new things without worrying about like, oh, is this going to cost me an arm and a leg? Because anything you did was affordable. Anywhere you went was affordable. You know, whereas here, if I want to go do something, like I remember a couple of years ago, a friend of mine and I went to the West Edmonton Mall World Water Park. And I remember going to the water park as a kid, but my parents had always paid when I went, or an adult that I was with if I went for like a birthday party or something. So I remember this was like my first time going as an adult. Me and my friend go, and I was maybe like 22 at the time, maybe 21. And we get there, and it was like a weekday afternoon. It wasn't busy at all. And they're like, yeah, it'll be $100 each. Now, we'd already come all this way, so I wasn't going to not pay for it. But it's like, damn, any time I go somewhere, it literally feels like I'm being scammed. Just recently, when I was flying back from Florida, when I did this Florida Casa D'Angelo Inside True Crime podcast trip, Drew's ethno-religious dating thing, when I did this trip, I came back and my flight from Montreal to Edmonton was delayed or canceled, or it was full or whatever. So they told me, okay, we can fly you to Calgary, and then you'll fly from Calgary to Edmonton in the morning. Well, now this means I have to spend another $200 or whatever staying at a hotel. So I look up the hotel, cheap hotel, Holiday Inn Express, fuck with your boy, and I look on their thing to see how much it is. I call the direct number to the hotel, or so I think. And they tell me it's $273 after taxes and fees and whatever. So I pay it. Then when I get to the hotel, I find out, they're like, oh yeah, you booked with one of our travel partners. And I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. That means I got scalped. Because if I booked through a middleman who charged me just because it wasn't going directly to the source, then I got screwed. I said, I pulled up on Google. I was like, this is the number I called. It's literally your website. And he's like, yeah, that's actually not us. They just look exactly like our website. And they tell you you're going to be the best price. They're going to be the best price, but they're actually not. I'm like, oh, so I've just been lied to. I've just been scammed. I was willing to happily give you my $200 or whatever it would have been after tax, $220. But no, I had to just get scalped for an extra $50 just cuz. You can't even willingly give your money over anymore without getting screwed. Never mind unwillingly. Yeah, movie theater as well. I remember me and my cousin Gabby, a few years ago, when we really noticed shit was going downhill, they were trying to recoup the money they lost during COVID, the movie theaters. He went to buy the tickets online. And they were like, oh yeah, we're charging a $5 service fee to buy your tickets online now. So let me get this straight. By utilizing the convenience of a digital purchase, which doesn't require labor from a human being, it's somehow more expensive than if I went to the movie theater. We live in hell. In Thailand, let me show you this. I still need to go to this. I was so locked in Bangkok, I didn't even do what I should have and like travel around to different parts of Thailand and whatever. Here, let's see. Bangkok movie theater. Here, I'm just going to search Bangkok movie theater.
I paid £25 a ticket to experience one of the epic bed cinemas in Bangkok. Watch this video and let me know if you think it's worth it. It starts with access to the first class lounge where your order is taken for your in-movie snacks. Before your film starts, you have an all-you-can-eat buffet to enjoy. They're all small plates, but you can eat as much as you want. And personally, I think I ate my money's worth. Right, let's properly check out these beds. This was my bed for the movie, and they provide you with slippers and a blanket. You have USB ports, you have wireless charging, and with your remote, you can control the recline of the bed for maximum comfort. Personally, I think this is worth every penny. I paid $20.
Oh, so I can pipe. Go ahead.
Mo just dropped a bag 20 Canadian dollars. Take somebody like Donald Trump. You are doing a good job selling Thailand, by the way.
Mo. Oh, so in Canada, I have to pay when you factor in, I just went to see a movie with a friend last week. I went to see Backrooms. We got our food and tickets and whatever. For me and one guy, it was like $100 for the normal theater. And then they're like, do you want to buy AVX 3, whatever it is? $100 so that I can sit next to, you know, in a cramped environment with somebody's foot next to my head and somebody in front of me leaned all the way back and somebody's trying to step over me and a bunch of hooligans sitting behind me who surely didn't pay for a ticket and they're talking the whole movie and taking Snapchats with the flash on. I pay $100 for that. I can go to Thailand and I can hype gal in the theater. I'm dragging it, but like 25 pounds. What is 25 British pounds in Canadian dollars? No, I don't want to update my phone. GBP. Where's GBP? I have AUD on here for some reason. GBP. Here we go. British pound. 25 pounds. 33 US dollars or 46 Canadian dollars. So this is comparable to a price of a Canadian ticket in what would be considered like the VIP movie theater. But this is obviously, you're getting way more for what you would get in Canada. Let's search Bangkok rooftop restaurant. It's not even going to do it justice. Let's see. Have I been to this one? No, I've been to this one. This is the one. This is the one I think where the guy was massaging my shoulders in the bathroom. Oh, this is just a list of them. Here, Tichuca. I've been here. Oh, this is a list of 10. Okay. I mean, look at these. Just look at it. Just look at this. Would you look at that? Just look at it. Tichuca rooftop bar. Okay, let me move on from this. Mo, thank you again, Mo. You take somebody like Donald Trump. You're doing a good job selling Thailand, by the way. Thank you, Mo. If you guys actually want help figuring out like the logistics of the trip, how you're going to do it, how you're going to get the visa, how to finesse the tourist visa process so that you can stay there longer, how to rent an apartment, how to get around, what apps you need, etc. Genuinely, you can book a call with me, and it's going to be so worth whatever you spend on it to save the trial and error. Because I'll tell you, when I first went to Thailand, I made the mistake of spending the first 10 days at the Holiday Inn in Bangkok. And I was spending $200 a night for the first 10 days, so $2,000. And I was thinking like, okay, this will be an investment while I spend that first 10 days to get acquainted with the city and figure out where I'm going to live and how much a place is. Knowing what I know now, I did not need to be spending all that money. I could have found a place so easily at a moment's notice to such a level that the second time that I went back in late 2024, when I went back, I had messaged my agent the week before I flew back. I said, hey, I'm flying back. Mind you, I messaged her on WhatsApp. You don't have to go through the bureaucracy like here. I messaged her on WhatsApp. I said, hey, I'm coming back. I want to get a unit in the same building, but on a slightly lower floor so that I pay less. I want to pay less money for the same stuff that I had. And I want to move in on this day. I sent her a picture of my passport. She sends me the contract. I sign it. When I got there, she met me. Mind you, I just land. I land at the airport. I take the Uber from the airport to the building, 20 minutes, whatever. And she was there waiting for me. I gave her cashola, cash money. No, none of this, oh, give us your direct deposit to your bank account. Show us your bank statements. Give us a vial of your blood and a lock of your hair. No, passport, picture of that, contract, picture of that, cash. Now you have the place. It's a fully furnished apartment. I slept there the same day I landed. Like it was a hotel. I landed at the airport, went straight to the building, and slept inside. Boom. Now I'm living a good life. Cheaply. $15 cocktails that are mostly syrup. Yeah, okay, here, let me read your comments here. There's probably not dogs everywhere, or at least people walking around with dogs attached to them. True. What up, I Heart Dubu? Water park in Thailand was $3. Yep. Cinema 30 plus. Coriel Cook says, brother, this is exactly what I've been thinking. I honestly wish I would have started like publicizing this 2 years ago when I went, but I was begging my friends sending videos, like begging, screaming, crying, throwing up, begging my friends who are single young men, please put it on a credit card, put it on line of credit, borrow the money if you have to. I have a second bedroom. Come to Thailand, please. You can sleep in my apartment. You don't even have to pay for a place. The only one who did it was Fidel. Shout out to Fidel. Gave her the money. Yeah, literally. Gave her the money.
Boom.
Boom. The money will come back. The $1,000 or whatever you spend, that's on the high end. I'm talking Canadian. The less than $1,000 that you spend in USD on the flight to get there and back on the round trip ticket will come back to you. The period of your life where you're a young man and I, a seasoned veteran of war and travel, invites you to come stay with him in Thailand, that will never come back. That will never come back again. Sam here says, how much was the down payment and monthly rent? It was, at my building, and it's not like this at every place, but at my building, it was you pay the first month, the last month, and the current month that you're going as the deposit. So technically 3 months. So if you're paying 500 USD and you sign a 12-month contract, you would pay 3 months worth of it. The first month, the last month, and the month that you're going to stay. Other places, you can get a shorter term lease. Like the last time I was there, I got them to agree to a 4-month lease. Where could you ever do that in the West? They want at least 1 year from you. And you're locked in. 4 months, I can pack up and go. 3 months you can get. So, and I think one of the times I was renting the different unit in the same building, which was a different Chinese owner that owned it. And it was only the first month and the last month that I paid as a deposit. So, sorry, like I paid the first month because obviously I'm there. And then I paid the last month as a deposit. So 2 months technically. But then you're in. Sam says, not bad at all. I spent that for a week in New York City. Exactly. Bro, an Uber, one Uber in New York City in USD is going to cost you the same as the week worth of Grab bikes and BTS train tickets and whatever else in Thailand. Grace says, that's the part that intimidates me other than being a solo woman. Okay, clarify with me. Which part are you talking about? The renting a spot? Keep in mind, Thailand, they do not play. They do not play about crime, and they certainly do not play about expats, which is just a fancy white person term for immigrant. You know, it's a double standard. White people say, I'm an expat, as though like they escaped the matrix. But if someone comes to their country, they're an immigrant. You're an immigrant. If you go there as a foreigner and you start acting out of turn, it's not good. They do not play with that. They do not play with that. David says, Chamber of Commerce needs to hire you, type shit. Being Mo says, I was considering doing monthly Airbnbs, but we'll book a one-on-one with you. Thank you. Bro, alwaysmarcomerch.com. Whoops. Alwaysmarcomerch.com. You can book 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes with me. I just put the link in the chat. Don't play yourself. Please do not play yourself on this. And depending on how many people rewatch this stream and hit me up, I might have to limit my calendar availability or whatever, because it's, you know, between that and the people who I'm helping with my mission to monetization, like social media growth and monetization program, the calendar be getting full, but you can still book as of right now. Background is really hitting me hard. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I can't wait to move out of the U.S., says Devendra. My friend is leaving for Thailand in a few months. Yep. Evad says, good job leaving. I'm working on securing a foot out the door. Okay, let me get to the big denouement of the stream. The biggest and really the only hurdle that matters when it comes to being able to leave and go to a place like Thailand is this. You need to have a remote income. You need to have money.
Money!
How are we going to do this? Some people think, I read The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss or whatever his name is back in the day. He says, keep your apartment back home, keep paying your mortgage, and also go live in another country for 3 months and pay rent there. Why the fuck would you want to be paying rent in 2 different countries at the same time? No one wants to do that. So what does he do? What do? We don't do that. We say, okay, either I'm going to take a bunch of savings that maybe you're blessed enough to have, or line of credit, or birthday money, bar mitzvah money, whatever it is. And I'm going to say, this next 6 months, I'm going to live in Thailand and just live off this money. That's option one. I don't recommend that. What I recommend is option two, have a remote income. Now, I'm not the best person to actually point you to which company and which job listing and whatever, because I haven't had like a normal job for almost a decade now. I've been a full-time YouTuber since 2019. What I do know how to do is how to make money with social media. I stream, I have merch, there's videos that I publish. I'm working on sponsorship deals now, finally, after 7 years of being a full-time creator. I have over 100,000 subscribers. Now I'm actually getting reasonable offers for sponsorships. I have my one-on-one program teaching people how to grow their social media. I do calls. I do, I'm sure there's some other shit that I'm forgetting. I used to have a Patreon before it got nuked because of my lawsuits. And so hopefully we'll have a new thing to replace the Patreon soon. But I think if there's one thing that I've been really good at, it's been figuring out how to diversify the monetization of my social media platforms. And keep in mind, I have been full-time since I had 3,000 subscribers. I'm not saying that that's going to happen for you. Also consider that I started my YouTube channel in the last quarter of 2019. Shortly after that, COVID happened. That was a huge boost to me because people were inside watching live streams and not going out to events. So people were spending their money on creators and things like that. I had certain advantages, okay? I also had cash saved up from before I started YouTube as like a little nest egg to keep me afloat while I pursued the content game. It's not going to happen for everybody like that. But there is ways. And I certainly, if you go watch my free 90-minute workshop about how I make money with content and exactly how I run a perpetual content machine by myself, if you watch that on the website, missiontomonetization.com, it's a free embedded YouTube link. Anyone can go watch it. If you watch that, you would know that I talk about how I've probably left $1 million on the table, if I had to estimate, in the last 7 years, just because I was inefficient, just because I didn't have something to sell during those moments where my channel or my Instagram was red hot and I was bringing in tons of traffic. I was just passing up. Oh, what's the MLM? What do the MLM scammers say? Poor means passing over opportunities repeatedly. I was passing over opportunities repeatedly. No bullshit. I was. Grace says the logistics in general, lol, you had just brought it up. Honestly, it's so intimidating when you first do it. But that's why you need to just do research. It's a mix of like, you can always hoard research and hoard information and have excuses for not to do it. But it also gets to a point where you're like, you need to just pull the trigger and execute. For me, the reason that I went and bought the one-way ticket as soon as I saw what the new lease agreement price was going to be was because I knew that if I waited until I was ready, I would have never did it. I would have found some, I haven't sold my kitchen table yet, so I have to wait. I set the deadline as New Year's Eve day, and then I worked backwards from there. So I knew, okay, I have to get rid of all this shit. I wasn't going to wait until I sold my blender, and then go. That wasn't how I was going to do it. And at the time I was 27. I had lived every single year of my life up until that point in Edmonton, Alberta. I was ready to try something new. And I wish still that I had done it sooner, because like I said, I've been a full-time creator since I was 23. I could have been doing this. Coriel's Cook says it's only scary if you don't have the money. So, okay, back to the point. The only way I know how to make money is through social media, through making content and through monetizing that content. If you want to learn how to do that, yes, I can help you. Go watch the free workshop. Go book with me if you want. Go book the 4-week package with me where we do a 90-minute call once a week for 4 weeks in a row, where together we're literally building a content system. If you don't know how to edit, that's going to be part of it. I'm going to show you how to use DaVinci Resolve, completely free software to make long-form YouTube videos, if that's something you're interested in, and how to make short-form content that you can post across TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, what's the other one? Twitter, whatever, and maximize your opportunities for growing. If you want to live stream, okay, let's get on a call. I'm going to show you exactly, like, while screen sharing with you on the computer. Okay, download OBS. Open this. Download this template. Okay, here's my template. Import this. Bring this up. Here's the gear you need. Here's the cheap ring light. Here's the apps that you need. On and on and on. Over the course of 4 90-minute calls, how many hours is that? 4, 5 hours? I don't know. We're going to build not just the system for making the content, but this is what I've been, you can go watch the workshop. I show examples of people that I've done this with, that I've helped on 1 call, never mind 4 calls. Right now I'm doing a program with a woman who makes dresses. Her business is selling like high-end natural fiber dresses, and we're working on her social media plan right now to get the dresses, to get more sales for the dresses. You need some sort of, not just way to get eyeballs, but you need to have something to actually capitalize on when those eyeballs want to convert. If you get 10,000 views, one person of those 10,000 might be a buyer for what you're selling. And if what you're selling is worth enough, you might only need a couple of those sales every single month to be able to sustain a very comfortable quality of life in a place like Thailand. If you're an individual, if you're a single guy or girl, this is going to be easiest for you. If you have a mortgage and you're, living with your wife or husband and you guys have a couch and dogs, and it's going to be harder. But right now, if you're a young single person, literally what do you have to lose? Do it as a couple. That'd be even easier if you're a boyfriend and girlfriend. The biggest thing is remote income, remote income, remote income. Okay? If there's people that I knew that lived in my building back in Thailand who I would always see them at weird hours because they had a remote job, but because of the time change, it required them to work during the night. So they were sleeping all day and then they were up all night. That's how badly people want to live in Thailand. That's how amazing Thailand is, that people will literally go there even if it means they have to be asleep during the day to accommodate their remote job that requires the UK hours or whatever it is. And there's job opportunities there as well. Like you might go and find an opportunity to work as like a personal trainer doing fitness. You might find an opportunity to be like there was a couple guys that lived in my building that were like personal security guards for some rich Thai guy. He just paid him, You don't have to go through the bureaucracy of whatever. They can get you your, work visa or whatever quite easily over there. Money makes things move over there. Maybe you're a photographer. You're doing freelance photography. You could go do that. You could go, there's shit happens when you force it to happen. When you need to make it happen, it happens, So for me, it's been content. And mind you, I was not even one of these people that went there and started making travel content. I wasn't even doing that. All the travel content is actually here on my boy's channel. My boy Franz Lundquist, bodybuilder extraordinaire. Look, I'm so proud of him for picking up and carrying on the YouTube without me being there to like film and help him edit and stuff. Like he's been killing it on his own. Look, he went on he had like a long hiatus of several months, and then he started picking it up again. Look, he's making thumbnails. He's getting better. He's filming with his phone. He got a nice camera recently. Like he's killing it. But all these early videos, like I filmed all this stuff. I'm in literally every one of these videos. And this was like a way for me to like film travel content. You might see me releasing some of my own edits of like a bunch of this footage. Like here's I'm in all of these. And all this footage I have and can like put into Thailand videos if I want to, which I probably will one day. But this is a huge thing. This is really, ultimately, this is the reason why I started the Mission to Monetization website and did the free workshop and did the program. This is the workshop.
All right, here it is. After
here it is. Go watch it.
It's to share my knowledge about being
free.
A full-time content creator.
It's literally an unlisted YouTube link. You don't have to put in your you don't even have to put in your like email or nothing. You could just go watch this. 90 minutes of game with chapter markers Values over niche, complete content strategy, money. Look, this whole last biggest chapter, the whole last 35, 40 minutes is just about making money. The whole reason I did this was because I keep seeing shit get so much more difficult in everyday life, not just for other people, for myself too, for myself as well. You know, I've spent 7 years now teaching people what not to do. This is a scam, that's a scam. And now I would really love to be able to help people actually do something proactive towards building something for themselves, building an income, building a portfolio, building something. If the North Korea, Israeli, Russian nukes drop, at least I will have done this, Sam here says, I'm only this young and hot once in my life. I need to work on my online income. Yes. And dude, I'm an example of this. I wasn't making travel content when I was there. I wasn't leveraging the fact that I was in Thailand to continue to fund my life in Thailand. I never mentioned to anyone where I was living. It was a secret. I didn't want people following me and, the assassins harassing. I was still just making my normal, streaming with the green screen. You can't tell where I am. Editing that, posting clips. That was how I was doing it. So if you even have a couple months worth of expenses, bro, take the leap, take the leap. You'll figure it out when you're there. And if you don't, oh, too bad, so sad. A worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is you're on the phone with your mom being like, yo, I need to send me a ticket so I can come home. And even then you'll have a lifetime of memories and experiences that you'll never regret. Leanne, what up, Leanne? Leanne says, have to be careful. They're revoking visas for people who are earning online income off YouTube. They're making influencers register as working rather than vocational. The gates are always closing. The criteria is always shifting and changing. What I know how to do is I never had a visa the previous times I was there. I was utilizing the tourist visa system, which, quick breakdown on that. When you get to Thailand, they give you 30 or 60 days, depending on how busy it is. They give you 30 or 60 days for free as a tourist visa. You then have the option to pay. It's like 1,900 baht, which is like 100 Canadian dollars, 80 USD, to renew it for another month. So now you have 2 months or 3 if they gave you 60 on the first entrance. Then, in order to renew it further, you have to, I'm lagging, fuck. Hold on. In order to renew it further, come on, you fucking thing. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if this, it's just so random when it occurs. It's like, I don't have more stuff open, stressing out the computer now. But all right, there we go. Now all of a sudden it fixes itself. Then what you do is, if you want to renew it, you have to do a border run where you leave the country either by land or by air for at least 1 day, and then you come back in and the process starts over. However, the Thai government got wise to this, that people were doing this, and they started cracking down. So I know people who have been able to live in Thailand for like a full year by rinsing this tourist visa strategy, but they've really cracked down on it now. You can't just, they'll tell you if you come back in like the second or third, maybe fourth time, if you're lucky, they'll tell you like, hey, we're looking at your passport stamps. You've just been like going in and out to try to renew the visa process, and you haven't actually applied for a proper visa. We're not going to give you, we're giving you 30 days and then you can't do this again. You either have to have a visa or you have to like leave. So, you know, I was doing the tourist visa system. The longest time that I milked it for was 6 months. So I think I got 60 days. I renewed for another 30. So that's 3 months. And then I had to do a border run. I've done it by air and by land. By land, you go to the grocery store in the middle of the night at like 4 a.m. You get in a caravan with a bunch of other foreigners. You give them your passport. You pay them the money. It's like 1,000 baht, I think, or 3,000 baht, like $100. And then they drive you to the border of Cambodia, stamp your passport, give you a meal, drive you back, and by 4 p.m. that day, you're back home. So you basically sacrifice a whole day to renew it. Or you can take a little mini trip, go to Bali for a week, go to Japan for a few days, go to Malaysia, check it out. That I also did those trips as well. So, you know, never let them know your next move. I'm not saying what my next move is, but I will say I plan to, as one of my upcoming moves, maybe not the next move, but I do plan to go back. Refresh if there was lag. Prince Royal says, I'll need a how to avoid ladyboys 101 guide. I mean, yeah, that won't hurt you. Yes, it's only scary if you don't have the money. This is true, Cariel Cook. But there's always a way out. Always, as Batman says in Batman Arkham Asylum. R.I.P. Kevin Conroy. But yes, that's all I really wanted to share with you guys today. I'm sure I'll have much, much more to say about this. And once I start posting content about doing this as well, you know, I'm sure people will appreciate it. But look, maybe this is your sign to start that online-based business where you can get paid. Maybe you have something that's valuable that you don't even know is valuable yet. Maybe people will pay you to be a consultant to teach them how to do something that you've spent years learning, even if you're not a professional at it. One thing I've learned is you don't need to know everything about a topic in order to be paid to teach it. You just need to know more than the average person. For example, you could very easily look at me with my Mission to Monetization program and say, well, you're going to teach somebody about content, how to make content and make money with it. But why wouldn't I go try to learn from someone with 1 million subscribers? You could. I only have just over 100,000. But to someone who has 5,000 and wants to go to 10,000, I have all the knowledge in the world. Maybe for me, I would want to talk to the guy with 1 million to learn what I could do to go from 100,000 to 1 million. But you get my point. You just need to figure out, people will pay to teach, for you to teach them how to go from level 1 to level 3. You don't have to teach them how to go from level 1 to level 1,000. You know? Leanne says you have to show that your account have $500 also. If you don't have that in your account, they reject you. True. Leanne, I'm going to message you. I did similar while living in China, says Tekma. I took a week trip flight to Japan and a week to Hong Kong by train and got another 3 months between. Beautiful. I love that. Go to Borneo on a river trip through the Amazon and see wild orangutans. I already know I'm going to get diarrhea if I do that, but that sounds like a fun adventure regardless. You know? And this is another thing too. No matter what happens in my life, I will always be so grateful for the fact that when I went to Thailand, and this also is a byproduct of making content as well. My closest friend that I met in Thailand was my Swedish friend, Franz, the bodybuilder. He's a lifelong friend of mine. The way I met him was so butterfly effect type of craziness. When I went to Thailand, I told you about the girl who said I look like Chris Evans. I was with that girl having a little matcha date at the mall. She had to leave our matcha date to go back to work. We did our little matcha date while she was on her like hour-long break from work. So she left the date to go to work. I was hungry. So I got in the elevator to go up to the floor of the mall where they have food. Inside the elevator was this beautiful girl from Spain. Now, this was like my first week in Thailand. I was on some say yes to everything type shit. So I said to the girl, hey, where are you from? Which, of course, I never would do here in Canada where everybody's like, you know. But, you know, I felt free. I'm a new character in a new place. She lit up. Oh, I'm from Spain. How about you? Da-da-da-da-da. We start talking. She goes, oh, you're going to the floor. You're going to eat? I said, yeah. Turns out she was going to the same floor. She says, come, we'll eat together.
just died on your arms tonight.
Beautiful Spanish girl. So then I end up spending the entire day with this beautiful Spanish girl. She shows me a web app called Meetup. And she says she found a foreigner meetup on this app, and she's going to take me to meet all these other foreigners that are living in Thailand. I said, great. So we went to this foreigner meetup, had a great time talking to people. After that foreigner meetup at the restaurant, they did like some bar hopping where you got to see some of the nightlife. I'm not a nightlife guy, but again, I was saying yes to everything. It's my first week there. Let me just see what it's like. Had a great time. Now that I knew of the Meetup app, I went on another night by myself to one of these foreigner meetups, and I meet a guy from Italy, Manuel. Shout out to Manuel. I know he's not watching this. I meet a guy from Italy named Manuel who grew up in Bangkok and whose dad owns an Italian restaurant there. So I was talking to him for a little bit, and then I went on about my adventures. Fast forward like another week, I was like, I want to try Muay Thai. So I'm in the Muay Thai class at the fight gym, and I see this guy Manuel, and I say, hey, didn't I meet you at the meetup event? He's like, yeah. So now we're, training together, sparring together. We go eat at this restaurant next door to the Muay Thai gym, and we become friends. He tells me, let's go to this bodybuilding gym tomorrow, and I can show you like a proper gym. I said, okay, great. We go to this gym, Muscle Factory in Bangkok, very famous bodybuilding gym. The biggest guy in the gym is this huge guy who literally looks like a gorilla, okay? He says he's there training 3 beautiful girls by himself. The biggest guy in the gym and the 3 hottest gal in the gym are all together. Me and my friend are there. We're not bodybuilders. We're not juiced up. We're two young, skinny guys in this gym. The big guy comes over to me, looking at me like this, goes, are you Marco? I'm like, fuck, here we go. I've already done something to piss off the biggest guy in Muscle Factory gym, and I just got here. I go, yes, I am. He goes, oh, man, I've seen your videos. I'm from Texas, and I got roped up with this company back during COVID, the I Am Academy Forex company, blah, 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 blah. He starts telling me his whole story unsolicited. So now I'm friends with this guy, John. Shout out to John. So now me and John become friends. John goes, you got to come train with me one day. Like I'm going to say no. So I say, okay, sounds good, John. I'd love to do that. We get each other's info on WhatsApp, blah, blah, blah. He tells me, okay, let's go. We're going to train legs on whatever day. Come to the gym. I said, okay, great. I get to the gym. He's training me, this other Russian girl, and my Swedish friend, Franz. So that's how I meet Franz. Think about how the web of events, the random, you look like Chris Evans girl from Tinder, leads to me meeting the Spanish girl in the elevator, leads to me briefly meeting Manuel at the meetup event, leads to me seeing Manuel again at the Muay Thai gym and recognizing him, leads to him showing me Muscle Factory gym, leads to John recognizing me at Muscle Factory gym, leads to me training with John and meeting my friend Franz. And now Franz is one of my closest friends and will be for life. The serendipity of all these events, think if you want to even be crazier about it and trace it back even further, in 2015, my friend who joined World Financial Group, none of this would have happened if it weren't for him. Because if it weren't for him, I would have never had that experience. I would have never started making YouTube videos about it. I would have never gotten sued and, felt that my life was in danger and fled to Bangkok and for my safety. And you know what I mean? So, again, it's just like a level of serendipity that I would just never feel at home. I would never find this at home. There's not the sense of, there go another brother who made it out. Let me talk to this person, see where they're from. What's their story? There isn't that when it's the place that you're from. But in a place like Thailand, people are constantly going in and out. People are, the way you pick up contacts, the way you meet people, the way there's like, the way you get invited to events and whatever. Like I'm at the gym. My friend Manuel also shows me this ice bath place. I go to this ice bath place. I meet a beautiful girl who says, oh, I host a run club. Did I ever end up going to the run club? No, because they meet up at 6 a.m. and ain't nobody got time for that. But still, it's like there's constant like opportunity, constant new pathways being formed. Back home, Work, home, work, home. Go to work, make enough money to pay rent just so that you can sleep in the place. But now you have no money left over. You got to go back to work and do that until you die. You know? So look, if you I'm not sitting, I don't have the magic answers. I don't have the magical pay me $1,000 and I'm going to teach you how to make $10,000 and then you're going to live your dreams. I don't have that. What I have is the experience of being a content creator and learning how to monetize that from very early on. And again, even if you're making a few $1,000s a month, a few thousand off of content or remotely, I shouldn't even just say off content, remotely, you can live a comfortable quality of life and you can scale it or whatever and figure it out later. So yeah, Johnny Azul, what up? Johnny Azul says, my matcha baby is sleeping. So true. Monsoon Lagoon says, Thailand sounds cool, but I'd rather go to a country where I'm given free money, rights, my children are automatically given citizenship when they're born, force my culture on locals, etc. Well, what you need to do is leave your country, leave your country without any documentation on you, re-enter and use an accent and tell them that you're doing that, and then make up new information and credentials about yourself and have them type up a new ID for you and then start getting those benefits. Thailand legal weed as well, yes. Damn, dude, I left Canada for Thailand for a year. Just got back to Canada for a month or two, and I'm depressed after 3 days. Yep. Trust. I've been going through the depression of not being in Thailand now for a year. Almost a year. So, yeah, hopefully Thailand returns soon come. But look, you don't have to join the Mission to Monetization program. If content isn't your thing or you know it's not, what you want to be doing, fine. Don't waste the time watching the workshop or the money working with me. However, if you have some other method that you're trying to employ to pay your bills so that you can pay your way through Thailand, there's still a bunch of logistical shit to figure out. Where to stay, where are the nice areas, what apps do you need, the visa process, etc., etc., etc. You can still go ahead and book a 30-minute call with me, a 1-hour call with me as a one-off on alwaysmarcomerch.com. So look, I already see somebody's booked from during this stream. What a legend. So anywho, hit me up before the calendar gets full, I guess. I don't know, but appreciate you guys. So much, it's literally so much more to say about the ways that you're getting screwed in the West, and I've done several streams now talking about the different ways. Big food, the monopoly oligopoly system in Canada, lack of high-speed rail, shrinkflation, subscriptions consistently charging you more and more while giving you less, on and on and on. Saucy Ingram says, I work for Oilers Nation, bro. Riverdale is low-key Edmonton's only nice neighborhood. I was in Japan for 2 weeks. I have post-Japan depression. Yep. I feel you, brother. Am I hating on Edmonton? I mean, a little bit. Depression is for real when we come back. Yeah. And like I said, if you're a young single person, this doesn't have to be a permanent thing. Like, we don't have to figure out how are you going to spend 10 years there. If you had the experience to go there for a few months, that would be super swag. And obviously, like, I don't know a lot of y'all in real life. Like, if I'm in Thailand and you end up coming out there, I'm down to meet up with people, but I'm probably not going to offer the same. I'm not going to extend the same offer of like, come sleep in my apartment to people I don't actually know. But I'm happy to help anybody, bro. I'm happy to help anyone, if I can. Canada's latest pyramid scheme you've been debunking. Yep, so true. Yeah, I have to do a long form video about Canada's oligopoly system too. Japan was so clean and quiet and peaceful. Came back to Edmonton and realized how much we don't know as a society. Yep. I don't think I've heard many people come back from Asia missing the U.S. Yes, and bro, this is what I mean. The PSYOP is so strong. Spider-Man and the Ninja Turtles are both from New York. Everybody thinks New York is the best. I went to New York in 2019. I was like, man, this place sucks. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. You get me. Anyways, I'll holla at y'all. Tomorrow night, I'm going to some country thing. Some country, I don't know, family thing that I'm been invited to. But ooh, this actually kind of goes with the outfit. This actually kind of completes the shit. I'm actually fucking with this. Yeehaw, brother. I might wear this tomorrow. But anywho, country family thing, made it up. Hilarious. What up, Specs? The amount of stress as a female I have when I come back to the States, man, we don't know what freedom truly is to travel to Asia. So true. Marco is a left-handed hitter. I don't even know what that means. I drove through New York. Didn't want to get out of my car, yeah. Who needs a car in Thailand? Oh, bro, the beauty of being able to rent a motorbike and just zip around. Oh, the experience of meeting a beautiful girl, then renting a bike, taking a ferry to some island.
Meet up on Epstein Island.
Taking a ferry across to some beautiful island, renting a bike. Nobody cares about the, show me your passport. Okay, here's the keys. And having, and whipping around the island with the gal pandit. Come on. Marco plays for the other team. Oh, is that what that means? A left-handed hitter? It means you're gay? Why? Because I said don't be scared of the lady boys? Benjamin Imhoff. What's the origin of that last name? I don't take criticism seriously from people who don't have a profile picture on their username. But yeah. Drew's country. Yeehaw, habibi. Yeah, hilarious. It's like I'm going to a country music concert is what they invited me to. So yeah. See you all. Thank you, Leanne. Appreciate you. Coriel, you don't need to ship your truck over there, but come on. That's going to be so expensive. Never mind the fucking paperwork you're going to have to deal with probably in doing something like that. Just go over there. You can rent a bike or a car. Like, you don't even need the car. Rent a little bike. That story, Rob, pull that up. The story of meeting up with a lady doesn't compare to racing from one red light to the next. Yeah, true. You got me there. Lady boys are the best wingmen for talking to Thai ladies, says level 81 Pikachu. So I've made friends with a few. Yep. Type shit. All right, y'all. We did it. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, guys. We'll be back.